Welcome back. We're here with another edition of Mystery Theater 3000. Talking about West Coast Splash. It's West Coast IPA. They are some of our favorite beers to make. This beer in particular is a recipe by Eric Title. He is our youngest brewer in the sense that the most recent brewer. And this is, I think, his second recipe he's ever written. And the best part about Eric's recipes in general is they tend to be very simple in design. Keep it simple, right? He just takes his favorite ingredients, puts them together, doesn't do anything flashy and over the top. He's just trying to make really tight, nimble, delicious beer. And I think this is an ode to that. Super clear, super light. The recipe is just churro, carafoam, and a little bit of wheat. Oh man, tasting a really crisp, dry, bitter West Coast IPA. It's got aromas of, pine, of course, peaches, a ton of grapefruit, bitter, like ruby red, zesty grapefruit. The same thing on the palate, just peach rings, grapefruit, pine, and then goes down super smooth. And all that's really the combination of the hops. This beer, West Coast Splash, is an homage to a duo famous here in the Bay Area sports scene.
It does not get any better than that, does it? It's why they're so efficient. Number one record, and they have the Splash Brothers.
You may know them. And so this is a duo of hops as well in Simcoe and Strata. I think Simcoe can often be very catty or dank, but we purposely select our Simcoe that is harvested earlier in the hop season, so you get sweeter, what I call peach ring notes. And this beer definitely showcases it, but it still has a beautiful pine and easy to drink resinous pine character that isn't over the top, and it doesn't dry your tongue out in a astringent, bitter way. And then Strata's our just favorite new hop from Oregon. Nothing but like orange peel, grapefruit peel, over the top, zesty notes. So when chatting with Eric about developing this recipe, we talked about what hops to use, and he wanted to keep it just 2 hops, Simcoe and Strata. I was trying to push him to use more because we tend to do that, and I tend to try to spice things up, and my goal with making beer is to try to blend the perfect components together. And sometimes you gotta get out of your own way and pick what he was feeling were the 2 best hops that we had in the brew house, and they do complement each other. And you would think, oh, any 2 hops do, and I tried making a Mosaic Strata beer. Man, Mosaic's my favorite hop, Strata's my new favorite hop, and it just was lackluster. So sometimes synergies just happen and you don't know why, and this is one of them. And we tend to use this combo a lot now, probably with other stuff as well, but this is what makes that beer extra special. In terms of what yeast this is a super clean US 05 strain. We alternate sometimes between US 05, which is a dry yeast strain, and WLP 001, which is the famous Chico Sierra Nevada yeast strain. It's super clean, it ferments well, it drops out clear, it helps accentuate hops without being overly fruity, doesn't get in the way. It's the workhorse of the entire beer industry, and it's what makes this beer so clean and easy to drink. We have tried other yeasts for West Coast IPAs and keep coming back to this. Not to say that we're not going to keep experimenting. It's the nature of the beast here at Bear Bottle. But when we know we need a tried and true workhorse, we just use 001. So going forward, we love this beer, and this is kind of our canvas now for how we can push the density of resinous character in West Coast IPAs. I think making these dry but still extra oily and resinous and building that mouthfeel in is the goal. And I know it's that I think gets locked in hot side, and we're trying to figure out the best ways to introduce hops on the hot side, whether it's kettle, whirlpool, and build that into the beers. We do have a little bit of equipment that we have to make sure that works with what we're trying to do, but whether that means hop oils or cryo hops or hop extracts or concentrates, everything we're doing is to try to just increase that resinous character in these West Coast IPAs. Tips for brewing this at home. To me, 001 or US 05 tends to be very sulfury, and I think sulfur gets in the way of creating those amazing aromas. So make sure that you ferment with a heavy starter, just a strong fermentation, and do it slightly warmer than you probably would. Maybe start at 68, but ramp heavily to 69, 70. We go higher sulfate in this beer in terms of water chemistry as well. And yes, you can do a bittering addition. We do a 30-minute bittering addition because bitter beers tend to hide the hop aromas. So kind of balance that out. Make sure not to over bitter, which I know as a home brewer was a key thing you learned really early on. You don't necessarily have to, even in the West Coast. You can still get great bitter flavor with a giant Whirlpool addition.